Story happened my freshman year of college, and I was living in the dorms at the time. And so I saw something on my Instagram about an event happening at one of the clubs in my city, and how it was only $25, and a member of the show Baddies will be making an appearance. I, for one, was very excited to go because I'd never been to a club before, and I just wanted to know what it was like. So I tried to ask all my roommates if they wanted to go to a club with me, but they all said no. I then texted my friend, who we'll call M, if he wanted to go to a club, and he said yeah. So a few hours later, M picked me up in his car and we drove off to the club. When we got there, we chilled in the parking lot for a little bit and we saw some other people go over to the parking lot and parked. So while we was chilling in the parking lot, one of the cars that was parked in front of us, there was a group of girls that came out and was doing a TikTok. Now at first we ignored them and we just continued talking in the car. And for somehow, some way, we got into a conversation about, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. But something happened where our conversation led up to us talking about weapons and stuff like that. And M, he in his car, he pulled out a big hunting knife. And as soon as he pulled it out, pause, the girls' car lights turned on and started facing towards us while the girls was going back to the car after they were doing their little TikTok. And M immediately hit it. So the last thing we want is for us to be arrested before we even got a stepping foot into the club because he decided to go and whip out a huge ass knife in front of all these people. Well, not all these people, but like just in front of the girls. And the girls looked there already kind of tipsy already, like a pre warm up drink. So we didn't want all that stuff to be going on. But after we paid $25 this event, which was not worth it looking back, we saw a few other people that M knew on campus because he lives right across in the same hallway as them. It was two girls and one guy, and the guy was definitely already drinking before he even got into the car on the way to the club because he was very, very drunk, but not as bad, but still drunk where it's like he's just slurring his words, kind of slow movements, just saying what was on his mind, all that stuff. So we kind of knew that people were going to get drunk because it is a club. So we kind of let it slide at first, so it wasn't that big of a deal. A couple minutes later, when people started coming out and having fun, the music started, kind of playing some music that people want to dance to. We got on the dance floor, and while the trio, the people that we met, was dancing and enjoying themselves, me and M did absolutely nothing. We just stand around there and talk. Yeah, we weren't really party people, as you can tell, but I mean, we tried dancing a couple of times, but like the music wasn't really there. And I'll tell you about the music later. Don't worry, we'll get there in a minute. So after we were just standing around and talking, one of the guys, the only guy in the trio, we'll call him G. So G, that's his name for the story at least. G was acting very strange, like he would only try and flirt with the girls that he was with and some other girls that he didn't even know. Hell, he even tried to flirt with me and M and touched my head for some reason. He was just shaking my head and all that stuff. I was like, I'm gonna let it slide because you're drunk and I don't want to get arrested for beating your ass. So I let it slide. I just kind of moved away, and it got to a point where he was walking and talking, flirting with a bunch of women he never knew, just stumbling around, slurring his words as usual. Somehow getting more drunk. I don't think I ever saw him take another drink when I saw him, but he was somehow getting drunker and drunker as the night continued, and it got to a point where security went up to me and M and said, "Hey, keep an eye on G, or else he will be kicked out of the club." Which, first of all, one, they are it was security guards who are telling us to do that. Like it's your job to tell us to or keep an eye on them. Why are you talking about us, man? Like what's going on? Are you not getting paid that much? Because we ain't gonna do your job for free. And second of all, we just met G. We didn't know who he was. We didn't know he existed until literally an hour ago. Why are you putting us as the responsible caretakers of these people when we didn't even know him? The only people who knew about was the girls, and that was it. And sure, M might have seen him in passing, but that's still not really our responsibility to take care of someone who's here almost blackout drunk and out there talking to people. It's not our responsibility, but I digress. I'm gonna take a step back and let's continue on the story. After all that, the girls decided to. What we assumed is that they called an Uber or called G's roommate to come and like basically take him back to campus and stuff. What was we thought? Now remember, we thought he went back to the dorm way before we did. So keep that in mind. Okay, just put a pin on it in your head real quick. Okay. So about an hour passed, and me and decided to leave because it just wasn't worth it. And the club was just lame. There were people playing the worst music. It was just non-stop music, which I'm not against. If you like trap music, I like my fair share of trap, it's like everyone else. But when they start blasting into your ears, and there's nothing really you're doing, you're just hearing beats just going crazy at your ears for over 2 hours. Like we got out of the club and we was almost deaf just by how loud it was. So after all that, we agreed that we was gonna just go back to campus and just, you know, go to bed. I mean, at least we tried. The whole point of us going to the club was to experience it, and it wasn't the best experience in my opinion, but this was technically my first and only time currently as I'm recording this video of me going to the club. So after all that, me and M went to Taco Bell, not sponsored by the way. And we went and got our food, and we were driving back up to campus. Till I remembered that when we first started getting on the dance floor, the girls gave us, I don't know, it was their phones or like their vapes or some sort of device. I don't know. It was something that they gave us, and we gave them back to them before we left. But I think one of them was still in my pocket. I just didn't know about it. So I texted her and said, "Hey, I still have your device or something like that." And said, okay. Just I'll meet you at your dorm. We're like almost leaving, so we'll be there in about the next 30, 45 minutes. Okay, cool. So we got our food. We drove back to the campus. Me and M went to our separate ways, and I waited for the girl to come back so I can give her her device. And when she did, we were talking for a bit, kind of got to know each other as well, and then got to a point where we was upstairs in her hallway. Remember, it's the same hallway that M also lives in because they live right across from each other. So we all kind of saw each other again. So, oh hey, you just saw each other 10 seconds ago, man. How you doing? As like a little joke. So then we kind of asked what happened to G, and I guess what happened was, according to them, when we thought that, remember, when they put a pin on this, when we thought that the girls got him a Uber or got him like his roommate to come over and pick him up or something like that, he actually was staying in the car. And remember, prior to it, they're already drinking when they before they got to the club. So when they got there, they're already just a little bit drunk. And he's not the driver, of course, but the girl, the other girl, and G. So when G got back to the car, it was a buttload of alcohol just there, just calling his name. So he got 10 times more drunk. I think he passed out. So I think G's roommate and him and another friend of his basically had to carry him and drag him back up to the dorm and stuff. And I was like, dang, that's kind of, I don't know how that happened. So after that, we were still talking for a bit, and we went back, and we hopefully officially fell asleep. I fell asleep at 3 a.m. And first at 3 a.m. Knowing he has to wake up at like 7 a.m. in 4 hours to go on a trip or something. So that was a very interesting. That was my first clubbing experience. Now, before I go, I want you just to know that afterwards, me and him kind of talked for a bit. And we never really like were buddies, but we just kind of talking now and then. Or I see him in passing when I'm outside and stuff like that on campus. And he's a real chill, sweet dude. He's not really a bad guy. It was just the alcohol and him being drunk that made it seem like he was kind of just like this weird individual and stuff like that. Even though he wasn't, he was just drunk. And when you're drunk, you see a side of yourself that nobody wants to see, but yet here we are. So kind of a warning to everyone else: just be careful and drink responsibly. That's all I just want you guys to know. Just drink responsibly, and if you are going to be drunk or just be blackout, at least maybe do like in your home or around people that you know and trust, and not in the club. I mean, I never really tasted alcohol before, so I mean, I might be wrong. I might have a different opinion in a few years. But anyways, sorry for all this yapping. I just kind of get carried away. I really need to start writing better scripts for my videos. I'm kind of writing down a huge essay about this story. But anyways, this is the end of the story, and the end. This means it's the end of the video. And I hope everyone has a great day. Make sure you drink responsibly. Don't do anything stupid. And of course, like, comment, share, and subscribe.